trans people, non-binary.
If you voted for Trump, I hope you die today.
There is nothing about me anymore that represents male.
Up next, we're gonna rot at some of our brain cells and react to unhinged woke TikToks from the alphabet community.
Pronoun of the day is slugs.
Let's see what we've got up first.
Hello, beautiful community.
Oh no.
Trans people, non-binary people, we're so beautiful.
Nope, I'm sorry. Skip. Next.
Not today, Satan.
Up next, this guy has a message for gays for Trump.
This part. What's really interesting to me is every time I talk to gays who voted for Trump, they're always like, give me one example of something that he's done that's homophobic. One, Google is free, babe. Don't come to me with dumb questions. If you've already told me you voted for Trump, I'm already assuming that your brain cells don't function properly. But two, if you really want some timely recent examples of things that Trump has done just in his first 48 hours, let's review. If you're looking for blatant and obvious discrimination and homophobia, right here. Trump administration removes LGBTQ plus and HIV resources from government websites. HIV and AIDS destroyed our community not that long ago, and the government did nothing because they did not care about us. Just, example number one. Example two, Donald Trump has revoked the Equal Employment Opportunity Act of 1965. You can read more about it right here, but in 1965, they passed this to make it illegal to discriminate someone based on these different factors when you're going through the hiring process. Example number three, this executive order where Trump has proclaimed that there's only two biological genders, sexes, which is crazy because one, there is a difference between sex and gender. Anyone can tell you that. And number two, biologically, there are more than two sexes. They are literally trying to erase us, diminish us, and make us feel unsafe when we have a right to exist. So again, if you voted for Trump, stay away from me because obviously you don't care about me as a person.
What is bro smoking? There are not more than two sexes. Sex is defined by the structure of your reproductive system, and humans only create two types of reproductive cells, egg and sperm. There are only two biological sexes. That's just a fact, and he seems in Delulu land. In the same way, he's reading way too much into the fact that they took down most of the White House archive on the website because it was Biden administration stuff, and they'll put up their own stuff. And what he's saying about the discrimination law, I've covered this in a previous episode, is not true. Federal civil rights law is still in effect in employment and in other things. And yes, it still prevents you from being fired from your job because you're gay. If you actually look at what Trump rescinded, he was rescinding a policy that required affirmative action. He did not allow discrimination. This is fake news that I've already extensively debunked. But what do I know? I'm just apparently somebody without brain cells that function, or whatever this guy said. Up next, we've got another member of the nose ring community. Sorry, no shade to some of y'all who might have those nose rings, but like 9 out of 10 times, it is a red flag.
I'ma just say this shit right now. If I go to a motherfucking restaurant and somebody try to kick me out because I look motherfucking gay, bitch, ooh, boy, be ready to motherfucking...
Well, she seems very ladylike. I mean, look, restaurants aren't going to do that. And if they could, you could criticize them, put them on blast, and that would be a PR nightmare for them because it'd be a wrong thing to do, but it probably won't happen. And regardless if it did, physically fighting people is not the appropriate response. You sound deranged. Like little children are supposed to learn that when they get upset, they can't hit other people, but you think it's cute or badass or something to just threaten violence on TikTok? It's not how I would handle the situation, to say the very least. Up next, this trans TikToker wants to tell us a horrifying story.
In case you're wondering what it's like being transgender under this new administration, I just got my new passport in the mail and they changed the gender to male because of Donald Trump. In case y'all want proof, there's my picture, very and yeah, there's that big ugly M. Now, obviously, I will be seeking legal action because look, I am an adult and I have undergone my full medical transition. There is nothing about me anymore that represents male on the exterior whatsoever. The only thing that them denying to put female on my passport does is put me in danger while traveling. That's all it does. I'm in danger now. They are only doing this to scare people like me because they don't want us in public life. They want us to hide in fear and be scared of them. But trust me, I'm not going anywhere. Trans people have been here and we're staying here, and I will fight this. But this saying male is crazy. Look at me, bitch. This is a direct violation of my rights as an American citizen under the Equal Rights Amendment. It's just a violation of my rights in general.
So, you are male, though. It refers to your sex. It lists your sex. While you may present as a woman and walk the world that way in many respects, your sex is still male. You are still biologically male because, again, that's defined by the structure of your reproductive system and to some extent by your chromosomes, not by how you present yourself on the outside or how you feel on the inside either. It is not a hate crime to correctly state facts. And the reason this has to be done is because people have conflated sex and gender identity to the point where they've started doing things like putting biologically male convicted murderers and sex offenders in women's prisons. So yeah, the paperwork is going back to listing your sex that can't be changed, and maybe there should be some sort of identity marker added on top of that to indicate that you're a trans woman, but it is not in fact a violation of your rights, nor does it put you in danger to accurately state facts on your paperwork. As for the danger part, of course I want this person to be safe while traveling, but by the same pretense that it would put you in danger while traveling because the sex on your paperwork doesn't match your appearance, allowing people to change it willy-nilly has the same effect because people who look male but identify as a woman, it will say female and it will have the same effect. So either way, there is going to be confusion. And frankly, either way, trans people should not be traveling to countries where them being outed as trans by their paperwork could put them in danger. You shouldn't be doing that. I don't travel to countries where I'd be in danger for being gay. That's unwise, to say the very least. And some people apparently think that accurately stating biological sex on government documents is just the first step taking us towards concentration camps.
That trans woman who had her new passport denied and her identifying documents stolen from her by the government, I believe is the first sign of the slippery slope of how the Trump administration is going to put more than just the immigrants that they target into his concentration camp in Guantanamo Bay. If you happen to just look more femme or look more masculine than what your documents might suggest, I believe that they will find that to be reason enough to put you away.
Bro, put down the crack pipe. You've had enough. First, there are no concentration camps. Nobody's being killed or worked to death. That's not a thing, and that's, again, so deeply offensive to the memory of Holocaust survivors to be throwing that around willy-nilly. And trans people are not going to be put into... Do y'all not remember he was president once before for 4 years and did not do any of this? He may do some things that upset the trans community or infringe on their rights in various ways, and I'll give you an honest take about whether I think they're justified or not. But he is not going to be putting anyone, let alone trans people, in concentration camps. And y'all just sound cracked in the head. Calm down and stop scaring people and working them up for no freaking reason. It's really toxic and unhinged. But that's kind of par for the course for TikTok.
They're gonna come for gay marriage. No, they're not gonna come for gay marriage. They're going to come for gay people. They're gonna come for trans people. They're gonna come for queer people. They're gonna come for the whole community. You think they're just gonna stop at marriage? No. Get your head in the game.
I genuinely feel like I live in a different reality than these people. Because in the reality I live in, Donald Trump is openly pro-gay marriage. The Supreme Court is not going to overturn it. I'm going to do a segment on that fake panic soon. And even if they did, there's federal law enshrining it that would still be in place if the Supreme Court reversed their decision. And Donald Trump, the guy who's supposedly coming for gay people, just appointed the highest ranking ever gay official in the United States government, Scott Bessent, the new Treasury Secretary. Like, TikTok has rotted these people's brains. And to some extent, I feel bad for them. Like, they've been brainwashed. They've got this panic and this emotional turmoil going on inside that they don't need to be having. How bad of an echo chamber do you have to inhabit to believe stuff like this? It's crazy to me. Up next, we have a lovely reminder from a gay man.
Hey Diva, just a reminder, if you voted for Trump, I hope you die today. Love you, babe.
Well, doesn't he seem lovely and kind and open-minded and tolerant and progressive? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that it's actually bad to wish death on people just because they disagree with you politically. But hey, I'm like the crazy one here. I'm the black sheep of the LGBT community, not those people. Whew, what a wild ride. Every time I dip my toe into LGBT TikTok, I remember why I'm glad those people don't like me. But what did you guys think of all these videos? Please do let me know in the comments, and do hit that like button while you're at it. Make sure you're subscribed if you aren't yet.